right behind me, I've got the 2026 Ford Maverick Tremor. If you guys are new here, my name is Jason and I do reviews just like this here in Canada. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the Ford Mavericks, the engine and towing specs, the safety features you do get with the Tremor model, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing. Also, thank you to Bayfield Ford here in Barrie for allowing me to review this nice looking Tremor. I'm also going to throw up the window sticker on this Maverick because it does have a few options added to it. Now, before I start off in the front of the Maverick here, take a look at this color. This is the azure gray metallic, and this thing looks stunning in person. All right, let's start things off in the front of this nice looking Tremor. So on the bumper area, well, technically it's all just one piece. You do have the black plastic at the bottom here. You've got some openings. There's also the front safety sensors and your unique orange front recovery hooks, and then you just get into the grille area. So there's a ton of black plastic obviously, but you do have the orange trimming that does stand out. You got the blue Ford badge, a front facing camera, and then your radar is right there. And then you have these cool looking LED lights. I love the little C-shape look going on. And then you have your usual lights in the center there. And also on the hood here, you do have the unique graphic as well on both the sides and everything tied together. I think the Tremor is pretty neat. As for what powers the Tremor here, this does have the 2-liter EcoBoost engine, which makes 250 horsepower and 280 pound-foot of torque. Now, towing wise, you're looking at about 2,000 pounds. Payload is about 1,140 pounds. Fuel economy, you're looking at 11.2 liters in the city and about 8.7 liters on the highway. Now, coming to the side of the Tremor here, you have the nice looks that continue obviously. Now, this thing does have the added on power sunroof at the top, as you can see. And then for your door handles, you do have them in body color. For the side mirrors, you do have them gloss black, black plastic, and then you do have the side mirror cameras. Over on the fender, you have a black plastic trim here, and it also says Tremor in orange. And also the same decaling you saw on the hood there, you have it along the side here. So pretty unique on this. And then you move into these cool looking wheels. These are finished in like this granite finish. Plus you do have that orange pocket, which again stands out. And these are your 17-inch wheels. And if I do take a step back, you can see these wheels fit the Tremor perfectly. The Tremor also has off-road suspension and it also sits a bit higher. Now coming to the back, since this is a Tremor, you do have a Tremor decal in orange, and then on the rear here, you do have the black plastic bumper everywhere. You got the hitch there in the center with the towing outlet next to it, rear safety sensors, and then on the tailgate here, you've got the Maverick stamped in, the Ford badge obviously, the Tremor decal there, and then you do have your tailgate handle, which also has a physical key, and then you do have a light there. And then speaking of light, you've also got these unique looking rear tail lights. Now let's go ahead and open up the tailgate here. So it is not soft opening, it will just drop down on you, but back here you do have a spray and bed liner, which I highly suggest on any truck. You do have the hooks there in the corner, plus you do have these adjustable tie down points as well. And then back here you do have the LED bed lighting, a 120 volt plug, and then on this side you have like this hidden compartment area that you can utilize. Now over on the rear window, the center window is power opening. And now let's take a look at the interior on the Tremor, because the Maverick is pretty unique. As you can see, you've got blue everywhere, some grays, orange, so there's a lot going on, but in a good way. So down here you have some space, you have a tall water bottle area as well. Even your door handle is pretty unique with the exposed screws, the orange here, and then these lines, and then this gray trimming. You have like this 3D effect going on, which also stands out, and then you have the blue soft touch here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the door trim. Now in terms of the interior, you've got soft touch everywhere, you've got the orange contrast stitching pretty much everywhere. And then on the bottom here, as you can see, you've got like speckles of orange on the back as well here. And I think this stands out a lot on this. Now over on the center piece here, if I pull it down, you do have your rear cup holders. And to lift the rear seats, there is a little strap here. So if I just pull this and pull the seat up, you have this massive area of storage. Look at how huge the space is on both the sides, and you can definitely fit tons of stuff down here. Now I'm going to jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom in this. All right, entering inside, legroom is not all that bad. I'm sure this seat can be pushed forward and then I'll have a little bit more legroom, but it's still, I'm not all that cramped back here. And in terms of the headroom, look at how much room I have, and because this slopes into the ceiling here, I have tons of room. As you can see, I'm wearing a hat. For reference, I'm 5'11", and I can move around pretty good back here. Also behind the driver and the passenger seat, I love how it's all soft touch, no plastic. Plus you do have these storage compartments on both the seats. Now over on the rear console area, you have your USB ports, 120 volt plug, and then you can put like accessories here, and that's it. All right, let's check out the front and see if anything is different compared to the rear. The only thing I can notice up here is you do have a speaker there, and this does have the Bang & Olufsen sound system. And not only that, if you look here on the side, you have have more space inside here. So pretty much this whole area is space inside. And then everything else is identical other than of course your usual window controls, side mirror controls, and that's it. All right, now as for the front seats, these are identical to the rear. However, up here you do have the Tremor stitched in to the back there, and the front seats do come heated. Now over on the side here, you do have your power seat adjustment, and here's the hood latch release. And then up here you have the bed light, exterior lighting controls, and then the cluster dimmers. Even around the venting here, you have that gray 3D trimming and then the orange contrast as well. And then as for the steering wheel, this does come manual adjustable. All right, now entering inside, you do have plastic everywhere. So here you have granite, and then you have blue pretty much everywhere. You got a speaker there in the corner, in there in the middle, and on the other side. And also behind the touchscreen, you do have space as well that you can utilize. Now for the digital cluster here, it's not a full digital cluster because you only have the screen here. On the outsides, it doesn't extend to there. And this is an 8-inch display. And on here, you can view all sorts of different vehicle information. And to control all of that, it is done through here. So then if I just press this here, it brings up the menu where I can view all sorts of different things here and have whatever I want in front of me. As for the steering wheel, you do have the soft touch contrast stitching here. This does come heated. And then you do have the cruise control settings, follow distance, lane keep, volume, Bluetooth, and then you have gloss black down here. On the other side, you have all your cluster controls, different modes here, Bluetooth, phone controls, and seat controls. So for your different modes, if I just go back here, let me go to the first one. So you have slippery, you do have eco, you got normal, sport, tow haul, and then off-road. And then also behind the steering wheel, you do have paddle shifters. And on this side, you do have your high beams and indicators. And the other side, you do have your wiper controls. Now over on the center armrest, you got soft touch, contrast stitching, and opening this up, you do have a good amount of space in here. Now in terms of the center console, this is actually pretty low for my personal liking. But up here, you do have some space. You got space here, cup holders, obviously, auto start stop. And then you got this button right here is your trail control. There's also the traction control. And then you do have your 4-wheel drive lock and then your rear axle as well. Here's the electronic parking brake. You've got a handy dandy rotary shifter. You got space down here, space here, space here. And then here's your engine start stop, 12-volt outlet, rear power sliding window control, and USB ports. And then up here, you have your pro trailer knob. You got your hold button, max for your heating and cooling, hazards, camera buttons, seat controls, and then the volume for your multimedia. Now, let me show you the cameras before I forget. So here's what pops up right now. So you have the front-facing camera, top bird's eye view. And then if I click into this here, I can still view the front, but there's no bird's eye. Now let me go back here. I can also have a front wide panoramic view, which is pretty neat. And then I also have the rear backup camera, the hitch cameras there, and then the side mirror cameras. And since we're on the screen, here is your touchscreen. This is a 13.2-inch touchscreen. And I like the way that they've laid this out because you have different sections that are so easy to follow. And not only that, you also have the heating and cooling at the bottom here, including the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. So on here, you have your map section, media section, phone section. You have your settings here, which you can go into. It's pretty much on any vehicle, so you can customize all of that to your liking. Back to the home page. You have your features section, so you have your driver assistance stuff, which is all your safety features, which you can turn on, off, adjust it however you want. There's also the towing section here, so connection checklist, add a trailer, and then a few settings that you can toggle with. And then you just have your owner's manual and record feedback. Heading back, lastly is the app section. So here you're going to find things like your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This also has karaoke and YouTube built in. And you probably noticed there's also a little mini screen off to the right, and I can swipe through all of this. Going past the rear view mirror, up here you only have your sunroof controls and then the interior lights. And here's the key fob for the Tremor, just your usual Ford key. All right, let's come around to the passenger side and let me show you more of that nice 3D gray trimming. You even got like the exposed screws here, and then you just have your usual glove compartment space. Now for the different models available with the Mavericks, here are all of them. And for the safety features that you do get standard with the Tremor model, here is a list of them. And here is the window sticker for this Maverick Tremor. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars. Well, that does it for the review on this 2026 Ford Maverick Tremor. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this?